Our next comedian is sponsored by deep-seated anxiety and various social phobias. Straight down the middle. Give it up for Chris Coffman, everybody.
Yeah.
So I've been heavily medicated most of my life. And when I go to the doctor now, I don't see a psychiatrist. I see a family doctor for my meds. And every time I go, he always asks me the same question. He says, "Have you had any thoughts of hurting yourself or others?" I always respond the same way. "No more than normal." Not once has he asked what a 3-time committee thinks is normal. So I'm thinking, really, he's probably the crazy one? So I come from a very fucked up family. Anybody else come from a fucked up family? Nice. So I've developed a test, if you don't know if you come from a fucked up family, to determine if you've come from a fucked up family. All you have to do is the next family gathering, walk around and ask all of your relatives, "Have you ever had sex with a little person?" If any of them respond like kids, then you come from a fucked up family. So they say the pen is mightier than the sword. That kind of confuses me because every year when I leave Comic-Con, I have to FedEx my sword home, but I can get on the plane with a pen. And I know two very, former prominent buildings that would argue that a pen isn't even mightier than a box cutter. So, receiving anal sex is a lot like meeting the significant other's parents for the first time. It's never as bad as you think it's going to be, and when you're done, you have a weird sense of accomplishment. I hate that cargo pants are called cargo pants because they can't take any cargo. Cargo is defined as goods that need to be transported by plane, train, or automobile. So I was wearing cargo shorts the other day, and I tried to put a pallet of 67 Harley Davidson panheads in my pocket, and they totally wouldn't fit. Just because I like jokes about cargo pants. If I had pants that were made of snails, would they be escargot pants? Thank you, Todd. Thank you. I had a friend of mine recently, got a new coworker. He described this gentleman as super gay. I was like, "That's awesome, man." He goes, "What do you mean?" It's like, "I'd totally suck a dick for the ability to fly. Are you fucking kidding me?" All right, this joke is longer in premise, but I'm going to shorten it up. I've taken the song Piano Man by Billy Joel. Anybody like that song? I've interpreted it as literal. So it turns into more of like a scene out of Naked Lunch when you take everything literal. Like, you start off, it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. The usual crowd shuffles in, which later on you find out are a bunch of weird people. But Bill's sitting at the bar, and there's an old man having sex with his drink, like right there. And during this, you find out that he's actually Bill's dad because he's like, "Son, play me a melody." And he doesn't even know the name of the goddamn song, but he claims that he did know it when he wore children's clothes. All right, that one needs a little work. Anybody ever smell something that scarred your soul? I have a smell, and I've just simply referred to it as the funk. I once woke up after a night of debauchery and time travel as I blacked out. And my roommate had brought home a couch. My roommate's name was Ale Issa. He was from Saudi Arabia. And he lived with his great aunt, who was 82 years old. This was his great aunt's couch from like 1974. And I woke up face first in a Saudi Arabian elderly woman's ass groove. And there is no smell worse on this fucking earth, I promise you. So, we keep this couch in our communal living space for like 2 months. We steam clean it, we Febreze the hell out of it, we're using powder stuff on it. The smell go away for 3 days, then bam, back it was. We had to burn the fucking couch to get rid of the smell. And it might just be my memory playing tricks on me, but we burned it behind the dorms in a parking lot. And I think that parking lot still smelled like 3 weeks after we burned the couch. All right. Oh, this is a new joke. So I've got all sorts of pussy on the line. And by that, I mean I own 4 cats and I'm really lonely. Please love me. One of the greatest lessons I ever learned in life was losing your girl to a midget acrobat is nowhere near as bad as getting your ass kicked by a naked midget acrobat. Because you might think you're big and bad, but a midget acrobat with a sex swing and 2 strategically placed trampolines is going to fuck your world up every time, I promise. So I work at a record store. A gentleman came in the other day. He's trying to make change to buy his purchase, and he says, "I'm super stoned." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome, dude. I know a dude who's super gay. We should get together and be super friends and fight super stupid stereotypes." We'll do 2 more. When I see bus stops, it's a lot like when I see a girl in knee-highs. I know that it's time to get off before I go to the bad place. And we'll end with this. So recently I was trying to get a new job. It was a couple months ago. And I do a lot of drugs. So I knew I had a drug test coming up. So I went clean and sober for 45 days getting ready for this test. I go in confident, take the test, go home. I'm waiting for the call to say, "Hey, you got the job." And I get the call, and the guy's like, "Yo, man, you failed the drug test." It's like, "That's impossible. I haven't done anything for 45 days. He said, "Dude, you shit in the fucking cup." My name's Chris Coffman. Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Chris Coffman, everybody.